Fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing white trimmed with red and blue. His professional record, an excellent one. 24 victories. 20 of those 24 wins by knockout. Only 2 defeats. Black trimmed with silver, wearing black with silver. His professional record, a perfect one. 15 fights, 15 victories, including 11 big wins by knockout. The reigning and
Okay, gentlemen, I gave you specific detailed instructions in the locker room. We're going to tell you 2 things. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. God bless.
2 serious young men in there. Joe Smith Jr., again, hard hitter from Mastic, Long Island. Oldest of 8 kids. Owns his own tree trimming company on Long Island against a world-class fighter with a world title belt and the amateur pedigree. Back it up. Does Smith have enough to hang? Can he close the talent gap? Smith
fighting behind the jab.
Sergio, they feel, Smith's people, that Bivol, defense is a priority. It's not just, lip service. Defense is important. No. Smith trying to do that now, too. Just trying to paw at the jab and get close enough to land a hard right hand. Bivol fairly effective with that jab. And there with a short hook. Good body shot there by Bivol, and he tries with a hook at the end of round 1. And there is royalty in the house. One of the greatest of all time.
I was totally going to be a fanboy. He was outside.
What an unbelievable, skillful fighter. One of the best defensive fighters, tempting to do.
Attempting is a good word, because he came forward, tried to prep.
Fight with a big name. They thought they had Artur Beterbiev locked up in November, but that fell through. It's difficult, Chris Maddox, to navigate and get the fights you need, even when there's multiple, starting to pick up that space and get in the pocket. Finding his range.
To say that with such a brave fighter, but you could tell he's a little discouraged with Bivol's power and the timing and the
champ with a classy combination.
There's a left hook that came up a little short. Bivol he doesn't bother Smith because there was a discouraged look in that round.
Sergio, give him something he can work with.
You want to move your head, not give a tab. So bang the body up a little bit, touch something.
He said, I can't believe Barrera crawled back up.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter, and if he didn't break that jaw,
and that's when the war is going to be made. He opens up now.
He's being very responsive. You're near the ropes. Smith is going to take advantage and just bomb away. You don't want to push
This is what we mean. That left eye is already starting to puff up a bit. There is a gap in talent here.
Yeah, we asked Bivol, what does he think about Joe Smith? He said he's basic, but very...
WBA titleist at 175 pounds. Sergio, do you have a favorite? We talk Bivol, better. Can he close the talent gap?
It's discouraging when you're fighting a...
It hurt, that's the time. You might only get one chance. Skills are there as well for Bivol. He's able to move. He was able to clutch just for a moment.
Get that jab through. Dmitry Bivol's defense is excellent.
Right, I got you. I'm right here. Right.
High ring IQ.
It's for the
and
bell.
Smith, to his credit, when he thought he had his man, went after him with everything he had. Bivol able to get through.
Look, Joe Smith told us anything I punch, I hurt, and he clearly caught Bivol.
Better than a glance. Really flush.
Bivol's reaction.
Round 5, so Joe Smith has some success. His corner
did some clean punch, but I don't think he won it.
He didn't win the round, but he won momentum, and that's all.
Bivol won the round. You've got to count him up, and one good shot can't win it for you unless you drop the guy. Just another thing he does well.
And look at his face. He's like a poker face. It never changes expression.
The concentration on his face. Able to get,
because I didn't have Bivol's power. But Bivol, he told us in the fighter meetings, I love foot feigning, I love defense.
Final seconds, Smith trying with everything. And watch the main event. But Bivol was out here watching the fights for the guys in his stable.
Stablemates. You
know, Sergio's your main event guy, but you're out saying, Bivol's out watching the fights.
I love fight, and they're supporting you all the way.
About this fight, and Bivol, to his credit, has experience going deep into fights.
Survive.
CompuBox doesn't tell the story. If you have an educated eye, Bivol, a lot of people question Donald Curry, but he was a 2-division champion.
Okay.
Any credit. Add to its credit.
Because there are years, Brian, that there aren't 3 Hall of Fame.
Myself, I think
maybe he's. I'll throw something at you from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Maybe he's a peak Hall of Famer. Before he lost to Lloyd Hunnigan, the welterweight title. Anyway, early June.
Really showcase his skills. He's in with Joan O'Carroll, a guy that doesn't have a lot of pop somebody away, but I'm anxious, Brian, to see Tevin Farmer in his
top of the food chain stuff, but Farmer is there, and skill-wise, he'd be difficult to handle. Round 7 here.
Puncher. He doesn't waste any energy, doesn't waste space in the ring. He knows when to punch.
That hook didn't quite land. That right hand did. Bivol now picks up the pace. By the way, we asked Bivol, anyone stand out to you among the other champions? And he then went and proceeded.
What's unfortunate is, unless something significant changes, Dmitry Bivol is going to have a very hard time.
That he couldn't go.
But he turned it into a hook, and it landed cleanly. Caught Joe Smith's attention.
Doesn't go down easy.
Now, Bivol is systematically.
Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix here ringside. Sugar Ray Leonard. Bivol's promoter said, even with all the politics, it is possible to make good fights. And you'd want to see that.
It's a quiet round with both of them, so Bivol's maybe taking.
Now power shots from Bivol, backing Smith up. Hear the thudding power of Dmitry Bivol. Another outstanding round for the champ.
Just go with the left on the side.
Mashianov, first thing he says, I don't know how this guy's still standing. You're really doing beautiful stuff.
Many things to be impressed with Dmitry Bivol. His conditioning is right up there. He just doesn't look tired at all.
Yeah.
Now he's fighting the definition.
Wow. Now, Smith hasn't been dirty yet. That was dirty, but that you can say, hey, look, that's it. Is still on his feet. I like that Bivol will occasionally, he has different velocity.
To your earlier point, I was critical of Bivol after the Pascal fight,
and he can follow it up with that right hand.
10 seconds.
And the moment he stops punching, Bivol picks it up.
Well, here we're going to see the hip toss on Joe Smith's part, but not for nothing. He picked him up and then he thought twice.
Down slowly there.
I think that was instinct. The tough guy came out of him.
At the end, you could sense it morally. You're right. By the way, May 4th, that's the middleweight championship. You saw punches last round. Yikes, 9-zip. Well, I like the one thing, Sergio, maybe Smith.
Like right there, look, Joe Smith came up short with 3 punches, 2 jabs and an overhand right. That's discouraging.
That is hard. Again, we haven't seen Smith fly out of the ring yet because he's Joe Smith. Trying to stay out of harm's way.
10 seconds.
Smith doing everything he.
For the bell.
As I mentioned, Bivol.
Good shot there. That might have hurt Bivol right there. That's an overhand right.
Right at the bell.
When he's gonna jump on you, just hit him in the.
I thought this round was over, Sergio. I guess Dmitry Bivol thought that too. At the bell.
Never over. You always have to be leery of a puncher. Joe Smith told us anything.
And Bivol was shook. So just as we're singing his praises and saying, look, give credit to Joe. Well, this is where you poke power. It's usually early. This is also his first time pass. Can he pull it out of nowhere?
Round 1 to round 12, and Bivol, no matter how experienced he is, realizing that now.
And you have to 45 seconds now. Right hand by Smith, partially blocked. But
That 12th round.
And the fact that he's back in this now in the 11th is from. Yeah, he knows he's in a fight, Joe. No question.
So see when he steps around, he's wide open for that hook.
Right hand. And when you have your opponent hurt, it doesn't take many shots or a clean shot in.
You get your money's worth tonight. Final round.
12th and world title fight at light heavyweight. Jones. Shows his class and his fire. Look, Bivol isn't there, so he can land the hammer. To drive Smith back. Can he keep him at bay?
He hit it well, but his legs aren't really under him with that second right counter that Bivol landed.
Running out of time.
10 seconds.
He really burns a lot of gas in the 11th. And now Bivol has him hurt. Hard right hand. Smith has never been down. Bivol on the attack over. Wow. What a way to finish. That's just...
Those two right hand counters earlier was what caught his attention. That third one finally...
Not the same fighter. That shot had an impact.
No question. And yet he's still able to do that. Say, hey, final... And Smith, to his credit, never gave up. A hard man to find, and the slightest bit of room, Bivol will hurt you. If you let up on him for a moment.
Towards the end of a round, after he heard the 10-second warning, he kind of let his guard down, and it caught.
Bivol had a lot of success, Sergio, with the hook as well. Hard shots. Hurt Smith.
Power puncher, a dangerous puncher in Smith. He took his chances when he had the moment hurt. He had his opponent hurt. He took the moment. He tried to get the stoppage. 5-10 more seconds.
The broken jaw twice that he had to get fixed. Look at him. There's a warrior right there. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards, and before we do, a round of applause for two fighters that both had the will to win in this ring here tonight. Glenn Feldman and Tom Schreck both score it 119 to 109. Still undefeated and still the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.
Those are good judges. They did a good job. Smith won probably 2 rounds, maybe 1 round, to fight against a very game, tough guy with real world-class power, and to say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be so sure that it is Beterbiev or Kovalev. That's a, or see the CompuBox numbers. Wow, a wide discrepancy in punches landed. Yeah,
when you have that kind of power, you don't need to throw 107.
Right. You throw, one might do it.
One might do the job.
Almost did it.
Scores were wide, but that didn't look like an easy fight out there. What did you think of your performance?
Fight for another belt. Doesn't matter for me who it will be. I'm ready. Main thing.
Congratulations, Dmitry.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who...
That's funny when he said, you know, who would you like next? And he goes, well, look, I just finished this fight. And it was not, but he is, you know, he's a strong-looking guy at 175, but he seems confident he could make 168.
Now look up again, but he's a guy who's popular in this New York area. And when you have a popular fighter...
You just saw Dmitry Bivol again at the very moment you think Bivol has just totally outclassed him. Smith rocked him in the final second of the 10th round. And almost had a cloudy eye, was able to survive, showed his class, but Smith makes things interesting.
I gotta tell you, my favorite fight of the night was Brian Kenny and Chris Mannix about the pedigree. Good night, and we'll see you Friday from Philadelphia.